Okay, now we'll be looking at how to create multiple variants of one task, and we will look at some real tasks in GenExis, and we'll try to understand how they've been made, how the generations, the variants have been made. So what I've been saying before, I think the last session and maybe before that even, that we need, so we have this requirement that every task should have 50 or more variants. And so how this actually is reached. For example, we take this task, so like this. And what we have in here. So we have three groups, right? Group number 1, group number 3, number 2, and number 3. Like 3 questions. And in each question we have 4, and here we have 4, and here we have 4 variants. For example, if we had one question, only one question in this task, like this, it would be quite easy because we'd have one group, and here below you see we have 4 variants of this task, like here numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. But we actually have, I won't save it, but we actually have 3 questions, and inside of each of them we have 4 variants, and each of these 3 questions are rotating independently from one another. So actually it is 4 by 4 by 4. It's 64 variants of this task. It means that there are 64 combinations possible. So 64 variants. And if we look at the properties, we see 64. So we're good. So what you could have done in here, one variant, you could have, for example, one question only, and you could have clicked on this plus button 64 times. But this is too complicated, because then you would have to create 64 sentences. Here we have 12, right? We have 12 sentences. Here 4, and here 4, and here 4. So we didn't have to create 64 sentences. We created just 12. And as they are divided like that, we get 64 combinations. And these are the 64 variants. So is this clear? Yes. Okay. Let us look at some other tasks. I'll be deleting this one. I'm just opening them randomly. By the way, how to copy the task or the object in your folder. I just delete, by the way, is right click and delete. But be careful with that, because if it's published, don't delete it. So if I want to copy something, I just select it. I then press the Control button on my keyboard and I drag it like that, and the copy is created. So let us look in here. Oh, here we actually have the same. Yes, here we have the same, so it's not interesting. Here we have the same again with the groups. maybe let's look at the topics. Okay, and now we will look at the creative exercise like this one. So in creative exercises like this, make up to 6 sentences, we actually don't have to add some variants because every child will answer the way, their personal way. Again, if we look at the properties, we have one variant in here, like entropy 1. But again, what we could do here in this task, for example, we could write different verbs, different combinations of verbs. We could use each verb like the variable text and add several variants of verbs and let them just be combined. For example, of course, it depends on your topic. If you could add more of them, it would be absolutely great. But for example, like that, this would be our first verb, and for example, the second verb would be the rest of them. So, okay, each student would get 2 verbs, but there would be 9 variants of this task already. These things which actually make difference for the answers, the task's conditions themselves, or the numbers that are in tasks, or the words that are in tasks. These are the main variants. But we could also insert the non-important variants, which would only make the appearance of the task a little bit different. For example, here, this text make up 6 sentences. I could change this word, and I can insert variables in here. Condition. So make up, create, write, in present perfect continuous. So we have added 3 variables in conditions. If it was math tasks, for example, we could maybe use different words of the characters in our question. For example, Priya has given a symbol 5 apples, or Shruti has given Tamil 5 apples. So different words again give us different variants of the task. The most important thing is that these words, which actually affect the answer, there should be at least 8 combinations. Better more, because 8 is very little only for the tasks where it is really complicated to create something. And all of the variants combined should be at least 50. But again, there are some exceptions. For example, creative exercises like this, they don't require as many variants. Exercises which are preparation for exams also sometimes don't require as many variants. But here again, I had only how many? I had only 1. Now I have created 3 by 3 by 3. So I have created 27 very easily. Of them, 9 are the main variants, and 3 are just those that affect the appearance a little bit. So I'll be saving it, and GenExis has crashed. That's not a big problem, but sometimes that happens. That's why I suggest you save your exercises. And the problem is I don't know where my task was. Okay. So another thing that you can do is the same thing with the pictures. For example, here, a listening task. Okay, we have 60 variants already. For example, if we didn't have it, and we didn't know what to do, another option, we could insert, well, we should have at least 8 in here combined, and we can insert a picture. Why not insert a picture like this? And of course the picture should be aligned with the exercise, just not some random picture, but you know, just some nice illustrative material. And yes, I will be inserting something random. I'll be inserting something random because it doesn't matter. Like that. And like that. For example, we have 2 apples. It's exercise about apples. So we've been having 60 here, and now I'll be saving it. And again, it shows me 60 here, but I know that it's not 60, it's 120. If I close it and I refresh all, I click on right button on this white field and refresh all. And then see, in the properties I already have 120. So this is how I multiplied my variance by 2. Of course, it's a little bit cheating, but again, this is a suggestion for you if you don't know what to do, if you can't can't add anything else. So you may add play with the words or play with the pictures a little bit. We'll try to look maybe at a couple more exercises, and if we don't find anything interesting, I think we'll be finishing here, because it is clear for the language teachers. And speaking for mathematicians, again, it will be different, but for mathematicians it's even easier. So yes, as I see in English language, most oftenly it's done like this, like I've shown you the first time. Instead of clicking on the plus button, a lot of times they just add, they just break the sentences in several questions. Another thing which I actually have shown you in our first homework was the so we have this Krishna folder. I think it was exercise 3 or 5. No, not this. Yes, this one, exercise 4. So let us think about how many variants could be in here. So here, Krishna, as you remember, and you will see it on the video, we have it sorted inside the multiple choice. 3 incorrect variants with variants inside of them, and 1 correct variant. So let us think. Here we have 3, here we have 3, here 3, and here 3. Everywhere we have 3 independent texts which rotate by themselves. So how many combinations do we have? Who knows?
81.
Yes, I think so. Let us see. Yes, you're absolutely right. 81. So yes, we have created 15. Yes. Oh no, we have created 12 again. We have created 12 words, and this made us 81 variants. So this is another way how you can think of creating variants for your tasks. Okay, so do you have any questions here? Okay, I hope I've been able to explain this one. And what you'll have to do as your home task, I will put in your folders, in Priya's folder, maybe not yet, but in Krishna's folder already. I'll put in your folder 5 to 6 tasks, just real English language tasks, and I will erase all variants in there, or I will leave maybe 3 to 4 variants in there. And what you'll have to do is add variants so that the task would have at least 50. And basically, you just, if you don't have to do a lot of research, like add real correct examples, you can even write something stupid in there. The most important thing for me is that you understand how to create these combinations, how to make them more. Okay? So you may see the variants of the task, how many it has, by clicking on it with the right button and opening the properties like that. Here I have entropy 1, that means one task. Or if you've opened it and you open here and file and properties again, one variant of this task. Well, this is just something random that I've opened. So yes, Krishna, to write and to do, I will put, I think tonight, I will put some variants for you. And this will be all.